समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today, Mahadeva is gracing us with the alankar of Yanai Eida Badalam, means the vanquishing the devilish rogue elephant. The Chola king was neighbor of Pandya king in those days. Pandya was practicing Shaivism, Chola was practicing Jainism. Practicing Jainism is not wrong, it's okay. But somehow he got influenced by the pseudo-Jain priests who were black magicians, and they performed black magic ritual and sent an illusory elephant. Please understand, actual elephant you can kill it easily. They sent an illusory elephant, seeing which all the elephants' army, everything started running. Not a single animal or human being is ready to attack that elephant because it is illusory. Just like our patterns and incompletions. Seeing it, you run, you don't want to attack. But you don't understand it is illusory. So the devilish, illusory elephant entered the Pandya's army, and whole Pandya's army ran away. And Mahadeva has promised, all the three he will take care. All the three seats he created. One, the seat of the kingdom, other, the seat of the Tamil language, then the Sarvanyapita, Madhurayadinam. He promised, whenever degradation happens in any one of these, he himself will come down and restore, revive it back to its glory. So as per his promise, see, Mahadeva promises in Arunachala, he will always be available to the world in these three forms. The deity in the temple, and the hill, and an enlightened being from that place. And same way, Mahadeva also promised, whenever there is a degradation in these three seats, and you also need to know whether fortunately or unfortunately, in course of time all the three seats have been merged into one, and only one is alive, that is Sarvanyapita. So that takes the responsibility of ruling, teaching, and keeping the language alive. All the three. So Mahadeva is committed, whenever there is any problem, he himself will assume the human form and revive it. As per his promise, Mahadeva appeared, and as a dark-skinned hunter, the exact description is the modern day translation. The modern day you call tall, dark, handsome. That's the exact word with which the poet is describing how the Mahadeva appeared as a hunter with bow and arrows, and just by the one arrow the elephant dies, because it is not elephant actually, it is a delusion. It's a delusion. And the story says, Narasimha himself comes and offers, may I be of some seva for you. Narasimha himself becomes the arrow, and the elephant was killed. That is the way Mahadeva protected the Pandya's kingdom. You are seeing that scene only in today's Alankar. Let me enter into today's subject. Today's subject for Nitya Satsang, stability. I'll continue on stability. Even all these things, the deities, decorations, art, all these things inspires stability. Please understand. Understand this one example. Come to the listening space. Understand this one example. Oxford, Harvard, universities. I think now more than hundreds of years old. Those universities last hundreds of years, I don't know, 100 or maybe 100 to 200 years old. All these institutions, due to the hundreds of years of experience, educating generations of people, they mastered the art of educating. Please understand the perfection which can never come by one or two generations. All of you are getting it? Suddenly, you somehow poison all those administrators' mind and make that whole, both the places into monastery. Can they excel, compete with us, with a traditional monastery? Helping people to achieve completion and enlightenment? No. Any specialization happens by stability. Please understand. When you are stable in that department and continues to expand in that field, specialization happens. And I wanted also you to know one more thing. Stability does not mean stuck. So we started believing stability means stuck. So let us not bother about stability and our tradition. The Sthapati means the traditional artists. Sthapatis are people like they know the architecture, building, making deities and science of medicine. All the art they will know. The Sthapati means the traditional scholar of medicine and architecture and art, who did our Shivalinga, our Anandalinga in Bidadi Ashram. He was the 9th generation Sthapati. Fortunately, he learnt from his father and he made the Shivalinga. Even now, if the water moves on that Shivalinga for 10 seconds, the water does not get spoiled for 6 months. And if the milk moves on that Shivalinga for 10 seconds, it does not get spoiled for 15 days, even now. And it is so unfortunate, the science is dead now. He was crying to me that his sons are not ready to learn from him. His sons are interested only in BBA, MBA. It is not that his sons, after doing BBA, MBA, one has studied the modern architecture. that they are making more money than the father, than the Sthapati who made the Shivalinga. No. Just a modern fantasy and disrespect to the family tradition. Why? Why? Just because my father is a Sthapati? Why should I be Sthapati? The amount of disgrace brought on our traditional professions like farming, agriculture, by this British. Most of you guys from India may not have even seen agriculture happening with your eyes. Means that plowing, weeding, planting. You might have seen only tractor plowing. Anyhow, so it is so unfortunate. The science is lost. Now it can't be done anymore. And that Sthapati was literally having blood tears in his eyes. He told me, Swamiji, I am old. He was 92 when he left the body. I think at least above 80. It is so unfortunate. I don't know now. Anybody else can do. I have some little medicine stored. I may be able to make some 40. For that much we have. After that, that's all over. Such powerful science. Such powerful science. I have hundreds and hundreds of people testifying. After taking bath in that water comes from Shivalinga, skin diseases healed, depressions healed, the whole body related pains healed. Hundreds of people giving testimonials. It is so unfortunate now. Over. It can't be done anymore. Why? Because stability is lost. Stability is lost. See, it's like only on the stable material you can make carvings, art, paintings, which are going to be for eternal, for a long time. On the mud, if you make an art, I'm not saying you can't make, but it won't be there. On the beach sand, if you make an art, it won't be there more than few days. But if you make an art on the stone, it can be there for years. हमारे आश्रम में आनंद लिंग जिन्होंने बनाया वो स्थपति, उनके व्यवसाय की नवी पीढ़ी के लिए ये इतने दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि उनके पुत्र ये पवित्र व्यवसाय नहीं करना चाहते हैं। ये ऐसा नहीं है कि वो अब ज्यादा पैसा कमा रहे हैं, बस वो अपने संप्रदाय के व्यवसाय का अपमान करना गौरव की बात समझते हैं। It is so unfortunate. Our respect for stability is taken away. See, this is the right example. Understand? Hundreds of years old universities who have mastered the art of teaching people. If you suddenly make them lose respect on teaching and convert them into a monastery, they won't be able to help people to complete and achieve enlightenment. Same way, the biggest thing done to India is worst thing. Our life was robbed from us. Our soul was robbed from us. Our soul was robbed from us. Somehow our soul was taken away from us. भारत के साथ जो सबसे बड़ा अन्याय हुआ है वो है हमारी आत्मा को हमसे छीने गया. Somehow we are made to believe into the pseudo freedom concepts, medicines, art, architecture, clothes, everything. Do you know every 100 kilometers in India will have a different way of cooking? Just travel 100 kilometers, you will have a different kind of cooking. Because we live on the same land. What grows from that land we eat. We build houses out of that mud. What grows from that land, out of that we make our clothes. Means literally our whole energy was with that land. Even in the monasteries, only when the stability is there, the greater truths, the science, mystical sciences can be transmitted, can flourish. I tell you, because all these sciences take generations to perfect. And even after transmitting, it takes generations for people to excel. Unfortunately, Indian laws are completely against stability. They are built on the pseudo-freedom concept. People are there. They are neither stable in education nor stable. See, by the time you choose what should be your career, what should be the line you should start studying, you even start thinking about it only after 21. Only after 21 you plan for your career. This is one of the biggest mistake. At the age of 3, when the Namakarana, naming happens, and this is an important thing you need to know, we don't have the habit of naming the child at the age of, at 7th day or 8th day. There are enough of references. 3rd year only child is named. Means child is allowed to live without language, to settle in the body without language. At the age of 3, when they name the child itself, the carrier of the child is told to the child. I tell you, if you need to choose, decide about your career at the age of 21, almost every one of you choose around the age of 21 about your career. Even if you have chosen earlier, you change. Even after 21, you are in dilemma. Literally, the age of learning is wasted. Understand? Learning happens between 0 to 7, 100%. 7 to 14, 80%. 14 to 21, 40%. After 21, 0%. After 21, no question of learning is possible. After that, you multiply, you just do the mathematical game. Add, deduct, multiply. You do all that games. Divide. But please understand, learning itself is over at the age of 21. What an unfortunate thing. When you decide about your career, the possibility of learning is over. You decide about your career when you are about to go to the graveyard. No, that is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. I'll show you in 10 years. I'll show you in 10 years my Krama Brahmacharis, how they excel. My Krama Brahmacharis who are showing the stability. I'll show you the best sannyasis of Hinduism. No, really. Because it takes a generation to perfect anything. When a child decides, when the child is taught, say, I am nothing but the perfection of my masters. Then understand my perfections, how it will be. Now the kids whom I am bringing up, especially for sannyas, when they take sannyas, you will see they will be authentic teachers, authentic players of energy. They will be just playing with energy. Because I am perfection of my predecessors. They are going to be the perfection of me. See, in any art, in any field, stability brings specialization. Many people come and tell me, how, Swamiji, in these modern days your deities are so perfect. I have never seen this type of perfect, beautiful deities anywhere in the modern temples. Maybe in the old ancient temples like Madurai, Tiruvannamalai, we see this kind of deities. Especially our Nityanandeshwara in main temple. People say, how? How is it possible? I tell them, I always pick up the artists who have learned from their parents traditionally, not from any college or school. We have in the modern day some schools and colleges. I never pick up graduates. I pick up the people graduated. I never pick up graduates. I pick up people who graduated. Graduates does not mean they graduated. That is why the perfection in the deities. The grace in the deities. Because in any field, stability is required for specialization. Stability is required for specialization. It is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. We lost stability. Just look around. We don't have the carpenters of the standard we had 50 years before. Whether it is science of creating food, creating clothes, creating dwellings, creating life, creating knowledge, anything, it is stability that brings specialization. Our civilization, strength of our civilization is stability. But when they attacked that, the whole civilization, we lost the soul. Of course, I will not allow. I'll bring the soul back to the body. Make the body alive again. We need universities to be established in all these three. For any civilization to be alive, these three is required. In these three, you will see the achievement of that civilization. One, the lifestyle philosophy. Second, architecture and art. Third, language. O Veda Mata, I commit with you, with my integrity and authenticity, I'll make university for all these three to keep you alive. And I'll do what it takes. I will do what it takes to create stable people. And establish all these three. See, for all these three, you need stable people. Not just money or land, stable people. Only then the mastering, the perfection can go on and on and on. I'll show you through my Krama Brahmacharis. When they take sannyas, it is this country's law does not allow me to give sannyas to them. Otherwise, I would have given sannyas now and trained them. they would have been such great assets for the country. But the country law doesn't allow to give sannyas before 18. See the perfection delivered by Kanchi Paramacharya, Chandrasekharendra Saraswati. Why? Because at the age of 7 he received sannyas. At the age of 7 he knows this is going to be his life. So better perfect it. Earlier, better for you and the world. Almost a century he graced that Pita. And see his contribution to the Hindu tradition, Vedic tradition. Fortunately, those days, we did not have a law, you can't give sannyas before 18. If the children know at this age of 7, 6, that what is going to be their future, and start evolving, learning, imbibing, standing with that, you will have the masterpieces. See, till the age of 18, you don't decide about your career itself is a sickness. If you don't decide about your career till 18, you see in India, normally till you finish the plus 2 is high school, am I right, or higher secondary school. Till you finish the higher secondary school, you don't think about your career. It means what, you build you are planning for your career, which is confusion. See, what you do till 18 will be your career. Till 18, you are in the mode of postponing and confusion. After that, that continues. I tell you, O India, till you come back to the Gurukul system, where during the naming ceremony, the child is told its career. You are going to live and die in confusion and worry and postponing. Of course, I will not let you die. I'll bring you back. What a foolish third-rate concept of freedom. Freedom is not freedom to have either you can work on mud or on stone or on cloth or on business or on computer. That is not freedom. That is a very small piece of freedom given to you, and you are cheated without having the real freedom. Real freedom is free to be. What do you call as freedom in the modern day? If you can just get a BE degree or a computer certificate and become an IT engineer, you call it freedom? You are squeezed, last drop of your blood is squeezed. Morning 6 o'clock you run to the office. 8 o'clock you come back and drink the alcohol, have a girlfriend and party. 12 you drop dead on your bed. Again morning 6 you are there in the office. You call this as a freedom? And by 45, fuse over, heart attack, top. Monday morning blew up. You call this as freedom? I am also taking one more responsibility. I am going to set a new trend by training all my staff members and workers working on all our campuses. Now I am creating this new consciousness. I made a clear understanding. We are going to enroll 2,000 staff. The first thing is they have to attend morning satsang. from the dress code to the lifestyle, everything has to be based on the spiritual strength, and they have to live four tattvas. And I am giving them inner awakening free. We are going to continuously train them to be spiritual activists, work and be paid for their work. Please understand, I pay them for their growth. It's a new trend I am setting now. With this introduction, it's only I am enrolling. By the end of this year, we wanted to enroll 2,000 staff. I invite all the Nityananda TV, Sadhana TV, Lotus TV viewers, whoever wants to be spiritual activists, working with our Sangha and getting paid, being paid for your work, immediately reach out to us, email us at jobs@nityananda.org or call us at 918027279999. We need people with all kinds of work background and skill sets. IT engineers, lawyers, cooks, drivers, mechanics. I am creating a law firm inside the campus to defend Hinduism continuously in the media. See, really, I'll continue on stability tomorrow also. Now I'll move to the Nirahara Samyama. अब हम नित्य सत्संग के अगले भाग निराहार संयमा में प्रवेश करेंगे। सीधी तरह से बैठ जाइए और चेतना स्थिति के साथ कल्पना कीजिए कि आप बिडदी वटवृक्ष बन गए हैं और अपने दोनों नासिकाओं और मुंह के द्वारा सांस अंदर लीजिए। जितनी देर सांस को आप अपने अंदर रोक कर रख सकते हैं, उतनी देर आपके अंदर सांस को रोक कर रखिए। जब आप सांस को और रोक नहीं पा रहे हैं, तब आप अपने मुंह बंद रखें, सांस को अपनी दोनों नासिकाओं द्वारा छोड़ दीजिए। मैं आप में अपनी पूरे संपूर्ति श्रद्धा, उत्तरदायित्व और लाभान्वित करने के 4 तत्वों के साथ आशीर्वाद देता हूँ कि आप सबकी कुंडलिनी शक्ति जागृत हो जाए और आप सब अपनी जीव ऊर्जा को सीधे आकाश और वायु से उत्पन्न करें। अब क्रिया आरंभ कीजिए और इस क्रिया को लगातार 21 मिनट तक कीजिए। I request all of you to do the Nirahara Samyama Kriya. Sit straight, close your eyes, cognize you have become Biddi Kalpavriksha. Inhale through both the nostrils and the mouth as deeply as possible and hold as long as possible. Slowly exhale. only through both the nostrils. Do this Kriya continuously for 21 minutes with my integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.